I think one of the really important things to realize is that there's been a monopoly on righteousness going on for a while. Because what happened is corruption has run people. The person gets stumbled, they go away, and especially in Barbadian culture, but I think across the world, in different cultures where the culture is stronger than people's faith, the person who is damaged shuts their mouth and runs away, and then you see them living well. But what they should have done is they should have stayed, and they should have kept quoting scripture, and they should have kept showing how other people were wrong. But what happened is they used the other people's wrongness as an excuse to carry out their own wrongdoing, and then say, them people is hypocrites, them people corrupt, them people this, them people that. But what if the person stays? What if you can't get rid of the person? What if you did jump? The person saw the jump. The person called you on the jump, and the person did not leave. Now you have a problem. Now you are forced to use the scripture to justify yourself, and if you cannot, woe to you. Woe to you, because your time is up. Because everybody ain't leaving no more. Everybody ain't shutting them out no more. Everybody ain't standing for nonsense no more. The things y'all worry about, y'all, and when I say y'all, I mean a specific type of person. If it doesn't apply to you, then you understand me totally. There's a certain type of person that they check all the boxes. They have all the titles, but they ain't got no love in their heart. And there might be a person like me that can't get them boxes checked for nothing. Ain't built for that, ain't made for that, ain't created for that. Because I realize that the box is just a way to control people who don't understand how to love on their own. Don't understand how to make some of your lifestyle, so you have to create a box and tell them don't pass there and don't pass there. They can't get it done on their own. A person like me can't be stumbled because I understand the mission. If Jehovah's not going to help me, he could let me go on bed and go on. But as far as taking foolishness anymore, had it up to here, watching the nonsense, being embarrassed by the nonsense, not doing it anymore. If you know that what you're doing is incorrect, fix it. And if you can't fix it, then you leave. But one thing you ain't gonna do, you ain't gonna stumble me, and you ain't gonna shut me up either. And all these people that put culture first and end up being shut up when they should be calling out things, when they should be saying, but we learned this and that from COVID. And still we don't want to tell the truth. But we learned this and that from science and history, and we still don't want to tell the truth. All of the people who are there still not telling the truth and saying that they're waiting on God. We did that in school, waiting out for Godot. It's an excuse a lot of times to say we're waiting on God. We were made in God's image. It is our job to reflect his qualities. A light is not supposed to be covered. A light is supposed to shine. If you have light in you and it's not shining, do you really have light in you, or is it darkness? When we ask ourselves these questions, when we do the mirror work, we look in the mirror at ourselves and we say, what sort of persons ought we all to be when it comes to acts of godly devotion? And the only thing you could say is, I go and tell people about something that I don't live. Don't you think that we have work to do? I do. I definitely think we have a lot of work to do. And I definitely feel it's time for one soul. You know who I mean. And I am joining up my saying we for that. They got certain ones there purposely placed to stumble others. Whenever you ask them for help, they can't respond. You think they're such a good brother. But when you say, hi, can you help me? Crickets. When they tell you, oh, yeah, I know you're going through loss and blah, blah, blah. Crickets, you know why? Heart in the right color, black. Heart black when the heart should be pumping blood. Pumping ego. No love. A lot of judgment and no love. But I want to see what y'all gonna do. Know that we're in the age where all the truths are coming out, where you can no longer stumble people on the same level, because instead of running away, the person is looking at you and saying, I mean you, and I'm staying. What grounds will you find to get rid of a person who is using scripture against you. And how long will you hide these things? It is from the bottom to the very, very top that ignorance is happening. And y'all thought that God was sleeping. We are just like the nation of Israel. And it ends now. It ends with me. And it ends with all the other people like me all around the world. The 7,000 that I sometimes think is not there, but that is there. That know the foolishness. A lot of us would have been serving God from every long time since, but the corruption run us. But now that I'm back, how when are gonna run me now? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna use your power to do? Take me off of school? I'm not on it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Kick me out of the congregation? I could do Zoom. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when somebody's using scripture and saying to you, you have behaved in an unrighteous manner and your time is up?